What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Get my microphone in a good position. Alrighty then. Alright, we got Ryu, 1778 versus Wally Arsenal, 1635. This looks like it's only a couple of turns in. Clearly, Ryu has the come at me back row versus Arsenal's come at me hand. He looks like he's activating Kaleidoscope, but with this many back row, the chances of there being a Mind Crush are very real. Obviously, he can't really Vanities because if he does Vanities Emptiness, he knows that obviously Gungnir could chain and totally blow it up. So, looks like he's gonna go with Art. He's gonna let the Kaleidoscope summon the Unicorn. Now, I mean, he probably knew Unicorn was coming, especially with that many cards in his hand. Even if, for some reason, Wally didn't want to summon Unicorn, like he wanted to summon Valk or something like that to attack over my main man Carrier here, he would probably know that Unicorn was still in his hand. By the way, 1635, 1778. I was recording a game of Nekroz versus Burning Abyss, but it went on for so long, and at the end, it was like, I kind of lost interest, and then, I was like, F this. I got onto my Star Drawing account, and I got in a quick duel, just because I was like totally jonesing. I was like, oh my god, I need to play Yu-Gi-Oh right now, because I see somebody making so many misplays. I actually ended up playing that same person, and he was playing Burning Abyss. I just savagely 2-0'd him, with Sir Teller Knights. So now I've got an 1806 rating, so I think I'm not top 5 on Dueling Network. I'm thinking I'm like top 7. I think I'm like 7th on Dueling Network right now. Anyways, so I believe you just searched Trishula. Now it could be possible that Ryu was waiting to save his one and only Mind Crush for Trishula, waiting for him to play obviously the Necro Mirror and then try and Mind Crush to Trishula, because Trishula obviously is a bigger threat right now. Trishula would kill Scout, and Trishula would kill his hand, and his graveyard is largely irrelevant. So he's probably looking at his opponent's graveyard, trying to count 9 stars, but again, he could totally, he could totally pay from his hand by tributing like Shurit. So you don't want to get rid of the payment. You want to get rid of the monster that they're going to summon. So, alright, he is going to summon with Shurit, and obviously he'll attempt to activate Trishula's effect. This would be a good time to have Recreate, because it would then negate Trishula. It would, in this situation, act as a breakthrough skill. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if your opponent activates a mandatory effect, okay, let's see what's happening. Ah, there it is, Recreate. Now, $99. I bet $99 that if he chains Gungnir, he is immediately going to chain Skill Drain. I promise you that's what's going to happen. I think that Wally is just, I think Ryu is setting him up for a Skill Drain play. I really believe that is what is going to happen here, because this right now is a breakthrough skill. It's a breakthrough skill on Trishula. Now Trishula is totally I think Trishula is, when this card is Ritual Summon, yeah, Trishula is optional. All right, so looks like he's not going to use Gungnir's effect. He's not even going to test the waters. But I really believe there's a skill drain back there. And I think that he just wants to, I think he wants Recreate to get popped, because Recreate isn't really that good of a card once you've gotten that one use out of it. I mean, outside of that, it's just kind of average. Now, the good thing about Recreate is, against Nekroz, when you start killing their monsters, like Trishula and stuff, their monsters get banished. Like the high level monsters, what is it? I think is it 6 and up? Or is it 7 and up? No, it's 5 and up. Oh my goodness. So basically it's everything. It's everything that's not Unicorn, basically. Yeah, they get banished when they leave the field. So that is really, really bad for Nekroz players, because it's very easy for them to lose their one copy of Trishula. So it looks like he's just going to go on the battle phase. Don't be shocked if we see a Mirror Force, even though there is one on top of his graveyard. And there we go. Again, no shockers, just with 5 back row, I'm trying to think of all the possibilities your opponent could have. And I thought that it was a strong possibility that he could have Mirror Force. Now, obviously with Gungnir already being on the field, there's really not much that Wally can do. I have seen some people experimenting with Forbidden Lance and Nekroz, but that really wouldn't do anything in this situation, because you'd still have to attack into the carrier. So it's like, you're really not getting anywhere. You get what I'm saying? So he has one Brio in hand, the one card that we know of right here, Brio. And looks like he's going to lose both of his guys right now. Mirror Force is just such a good card right now because, you know, people summon 2 and 3 monsters and they put them in attack mode, and that's what happens. You end up being able to completely capitalize on your opponent's overextension. So you see Unicorn dies and Trishula dies, and Trishula does get banished. So if you're Ryu, you can, or Ryu, you can basically like have a sigh of relief now because you don't have to deal with that card for the rest of the game. Trishula is a pain in the butt, and I say anytime that you can get Trishula out of the game, you just go ahead and do it because it doesn't really matter what your opponent does now. You don't have to worry about getting trished. And I still believe in my heart that he has a skill drain down there too. I thought that there was a strong chance that he had Mirror Force and a strong chance that he had skill drain because I've actually seen some Qlis. I actually watched a top 8 regional video of a Qli player who ran a heavy trap build. He was running like, what's it called? Like double Mirror Force. He said he wanted to run 3 Mirror Force. I think he was running 3 Phoenix Chain, like 3 Mind Crush. It was like really just a lot of traps. I think the only spells he was running was like Summoner's Art, Sacrifice, and like maybe MST or something like that. So I forget. His spell lineup was kind of minimal. And you're seeing a lot of decks do that nowadays. They're running like a monster count of like 13, 14, a spell count of like maybe 10 to 11, and then the rest are just traps, because traps are like like if you're not running Nekroz, traps are like really important to kind of keep the Nekroz deck in check, you know. When you can hit the Floodgate cards and wreck them, or you can hit the Mind Crush and wreck them, or you can hit a Fiendish Chain and at least stop, you know, yourself from getting destroyed. Now, the question is, will he be able to get this scout off? Because obviously he can still just give up the Brio and pop the scout. You know, Ganir's just chilling. Or he might just say, all right, well, I'm going to go in the battle phase and I'm going to attack first and I'm going to force you to use it and I'm going to keep my life points. I think that's what I would do, because it's not like if you're Ryu, it's not like you're going to win this turn anyway, probably. So looks like he's going to try and force out the Ganir. And while he says, I'm not biting, he says, you can have your scout search. I wouldn't be shocked if he got sacrificed and tributed here. I think that seems like a really good play, because if he gets sacrifice and tributes, he could summon like stealth or something like that, and then he can make his stealth completely immune to Ganir, and he could just run it over and not have to worry about anything important getting blown up. Or he could go Disc. This would not be bad either. This would be pretty good, because he gets rid of the Ganir. He still gets he gets more damage. He is going stealth. I thought that would be a good card in this situation. Alright, so he equips it with sacrifice. Alright, so he already had sacrifice. I thought that if he didn't have sacrifice, that he would just search it. I think that sacrifice in the stealth was the optimal play. Me and him were basically we were on the same page. I thought that sacrifice in the stealth was the best play here, because you get a full scale, you get the reuse scout twice, and then you potentially get to kill Ganir as well, while still having a full line of monsters. So it looks like he's gonna bounce Ganir. Keep in mind, Ganir cannot chain her ability. I wasn't sure if he was going to actually chain or not. Okay, so he puts Recreate in his hand. Now that right there is a very smart move, because now he gets basically another breakthrough skill for another turn. And I still believe, I'm telling you, one of these cards is skill drain. I think he's just playing around. He's trying to make it so that if he gets MST'd, he doesn't get blown out, because that happens to Qli players way too often. They get MST'd and they just lose. So he's basically bouncing his Recreate multiple times to make sure that the Nekroz player has to play into that card, and then if for some reason they out it, then he can flip over skill drain, the real game winner. But he doesn't really have to like overextend to basically do what he wants to do. Alright, so you see he goes Monolith, and then he specials Helix. Oh, good night, sweet prince. The Mind Crush. So he calls Nekroz a Valkyrus, to which Wally obviously has to discard. And I think this might be enough to clean him out. He has to show him his hand, obviously. We know he has a Ganir, so I mean that's a thing. Yeah, you do have to reveal your hand to show that you don't have any more bouts in your hand. So it looks like he's going to go battle phase. That'll be 18 right there. And another 18. And then the 28 should clean him out. I'm calling skill drain. Show me, please show me a skill drain. Show me I had that read on. Oh, I knew I had that read on you. Come on, man. I knew I had that read on you. I don't know what the other one is, but I knew you had a skill drain. That was the way that he was playing was telling me. He was just saying, please, please, please kill my recreate so I can flip over skill drain and I can completely lock you down. But he didn't even need it. I think that Ryu played really good there. The way that he was playing is, it's almost like insurance Yu-Gi-Oh. The skill drain was insurance. You don't want to use it unless you absolutely have to use it. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you can just keep using the the recreate. And I never actually saw anybody bounce recreate, which is really good because if you play against a good player knows how to exploit recreate. But bad players think that it's skill drain when it just isn't. So let me know what you guys think. This was a really well played match. Thank you guys for watching as always.